Good morning. Welcome back to another vlog. It is Monday morning, the 14th of December, and it is the last working week for me this week. So for some very bizarre reason, we would usually work until like the 23rd, if at all possible, as close to Christmas as possible. And then we'd have a half day on whatever is the closest day to Christmas Eve. And then we'd be off then until just after New Year's. But for a bunch of reasons that they've told us, but the real reason is they have too much leave liability on the books. They've decided they're going to close the office for almost a month. And so we finish up this Friday. And, you know, in fantastic 2020 style, it's going to be another really just weird and unusual week. So obviously I'm starting my final week in the office working from home. I'm still doing Wednesday, Thursday in the office. And so I've just started the day, but you know, we're also in the middle of cyclone-like conditions here in Queensland. So pretty much, I want to say like since maybe 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, it has just consistently rained heavily. We've also had wind. I do live in a beachside town, so you know we have issues of erosion. So where my little town is, we actually live on the river and the beach is a couple of kilometers down the road. So I've been checking sort of local pages, and I don't think we've had really bad erosion. I know it's super bad down Byron Bay and the Gold Coast way. We're doing okay here. I'll get some shots later of like the river and just how high it is. So where we are is our property's here, then there's like a river, and then there's more land over behind us, and that's gonna flood up, but that's okay. That usually floods up and there's nothing really on there. Some trees occasionally, some of the neighbors' cows might wander in down there, and that's okay. So all up for work. Just got a lot of little like things I need to finish off so that you can start next year fresh. So we're going to do a final round of payments out to our members, hopefully finalize that. We need to prep everything for all the state organisations to be audited at the end of January, and that's going to be like it should be super straightforward, but it's also a little bit of panic because normally we'd be back sort of the 2nd, 3rd or 4th. We're not back until the 11th now, and then the audit will start on the 31st. That's just what happens. Like that's the end of our financial year, and that's when we need to be audited. Well, sorry, it's the state's end of the financial year, and that's when they need to be audited. So we need to get that ready. We're also still got the ongoing mobile phone saga. So we think we're pushing back the changes to the system until February now, but we have 2 mobile phone things that have come in overnight and the phones have just stopped working. So it looks like those people will go onto the allowance system over Christmas. So I need to get some paperwork to them and let them know how it's going to work. We also had a couple of staff leave on top of the redundancies, and we have to figure out what they're doing with their company issued cars. I'm sort of holding back from that because I feel like our HR doesn't really have onboarding and offboarding procedures in place, which if you work in HR, you will know how important those things are. And because of that, it feels like my team, or me specifically, I always have to constantly prompt him and say, hey, what's happening with the mobile phone? What's happening? What arrangements have been made for the vehicle? And it's like, I just get a little bit sick of it because it's his job. It's really just my job to file the paperwork and make sure the correct payments are made, rather than actually chase the person and say, hey, you've got this company vehicle. If you want to buy it, it's X numbers of dollars. Also because the only other time we did it where the employee actually opted to buy the vehicle, we just sell it for whatever it's valued at on the books, and HR came in and completely undercut that. So basically we sold the vehicle at a loss, and that's annoying, but at the end of the day we went with it because it was a crappy old vehicle and we didn't want it. So we were like, all right, I guess that's okay. So I was for training this afternoon. I don't really know what's happening. I am meant to be competing on Saturday. I'm pretty certain that'll go ahead. They're saying this like rain system will move through by midweek, but you know, given how heavy it is today and there's lots of flooding around, I've just reached out to my coach Russ and I'm like, hey, do you want to swap like Monday and Tuesday around, where I will do gym today and then do some circuits, and then like tomorrow do some track. But we'll see how that goes. Tuesday. As you've seen this morning, I basically just got up, did a few little things, and we've just finished our final finance team meeting for the year. I did move my office around again for like the 1 millionth time, and the reason for that was we had a corporate services meeting yesterday afternoon, as you would have seen, and in it basically HR confirmed without confirming that people kind of prefer the 50-50 split. So being that from next year we'll get the policy and we'll sign on to it and we'll make firm arrangements that will be working from home 50% of the time and working in the office the other 50% of the time. I, yesterday afternoon, decided that I was going to set my office up. That's the best way. I think it is for all year round. And yeah, this morning, just before I started work, I just switched it around. And all I've really done is, and I'll just insert a clip here, is it used to be along this wall, but now it sort of sits more along this wall so that I can see when people come in. So yeah, and it means I do get the light from both, the cross light from both those windows. So yeah, it's just all good. Like the cords just sit a bit better. Also, this way means that I do utilize a little bit more of this other desk that I initially started on, and then I brought this desk like because I needed extra room because I had like my laptop set up. So yeah, I'm also buying an iMac in the next couple of months. So we want like there to be room for the iMac. I don't want to be like setting it up and packing it away because of work and stuff like that. That's just going to get tedious, and I think it'll just get put away and never used. So yeah. What's on the menu for today? Really just finishing off stuff. We had now 3 staff members resign. One's sort of sorted. The other 2 are a little bit up in the air. We do know the person who was announced yesterday that they were resigning, their final day will be this Friday. They really only have a company mobile phone for me to worry about, and it's off contract, so I can just give it to them and it's just no worries. But the other person who's resigned, they have a company car, they have a company phone that's still got like about 6 months left on the contract. So I don't really know what we're going to do here. I suspect maybe the role will not be refilled. Did that make sense? I think that they might integrate her job activities into a couple of other people's ones. And so because of that, I don't really know what's going to happen with the vehicle she's got. Even if they decide they are going to replace her, I don't know where we're going to store that vehicle until they rehire. So yeah, that's a bit of a concern because when we insure the vehicles, we tell them, because they're generally with the staff member 24/7, we tell them that they're in a garage. And if we store it at one of our other offices in that area, it'll just be sitting in an open air car park. So I'm concerned about that. No one else seems to be concerned about that, but we'll see. Yeah, so yesterday I spoke to my coach Russ. I know I didn't mention this in the afternoon, but what we decided to do was just flip Monday and Tuesday. So because the rain was just constant and heavy yesterday, and the wind was just blowing, we were sort of like, yeah, I'll run in the rain, but will it be any sort of decent session? And the answer was no. So I did gym yesterday, and so this afternoon I need to go into Brisbane to train. I will confirm that. Russ might just give me something up here. I'll send him a message soon and confirm that. Yeah. Of course, generally, as always happens, when I would have traditionally been training, the rain held off. So probably would have been fine to do a session. But yeah, I guess you never know. If we'd gone ahead and done it probably would have poured down and the wind would have been so strong that you couldn't really run. down and I'm just sort of doing a jog, walk, dawdle, warm down. So today was 3 max 300s, and traditionally this has not been a very good session of mine. You can usually get one right and then I just blow out in the last 2. This time was much better. I ran the exact same time for the first 2 and I still blew out in the third, but it's still a massive step up from where we have been. I've usually just blown out or not run any of them right. It's just 300s are such an odd thing for me. Like I'm a 400 runner, but I cannot run a decent 300. It's just so frustrating. But I think, you know, today showed that I can when I really think about it and I put in the effort. And what I was really working on today was going really hard from the get-go. Not this crazy thing I have in my mind where you build. So yeah, if you watch back any of my races in the last couple of years, I just don't go out and I don't attack the race. And it's hard to be successful in the second half of the race when you're trying to catch everyone. You ideally want to put yourself in the best possible position to get out and be in front. So it's picking up a bit out here, but yeah, so really good session. Got to do a little bit more of a warm down than I usually would because I do have to back up and do speed again tomorrow, and also I have to go into the office. So it's just a little after 6 now, so I will finish my warm down and get myself back and ready to go home. Happy Thursday. I've just driven into the office, as you could probably see. I might just move that there. We have like literally the worst lighting in this office, I've just realized. So what's happening today, we have the fire extinguisher inspector coming sometime today. I have a meeting with some of our like area coordinator people, and I think we have an all-staff meeting tomorrow. We also have our bookkeeper coming in to prep everything for the audit. Yeah, I think that's really it. That's enough for the day. I need to chat to my boss about a couple of things, and it'll be good to do it sort of face to face. Yeah, training went well last night. We did 3 max 300s. As I said, and yeah, I feel really good today. I spent quite a bit of time doing recovery last night, so I had like an Epsom salts bath, and I also spent a lot of time using my massage gun. I did get the new Thera massage gun that I'd been chasing. It's the Elite, and it's really, really good. It's definitely a step up to the one I had been using. It does go deeper, and it is, yeah, just better. And I mean, it would want to be for the price I paid for it, so that's really good. So now I'm just really hanging around waiting for the plumber to get here, because we're going to get something checked, and he was my first appointment, and then hopefully the fire extinguisher guy will be on time so that I can just have my meeting with the area coordinators and then just go about my day. Yeah, so check in later. So just heading out to get the post now. I think I'm also going to get some afternoon tea. Basically I've had all the meetings now. The bookkeeper's just finalising up everything, and then we're basically ready for audit, which is really, really exciting, because last year we were so disorganised and we were basically finalising everything as they were auditing us. So much better position this year. Also had a really big chat with my boss about my role for next year, and yeah, it's definitely moving in the direction I want. Really exciting. So yeah, hopefully now just have a really good training session. Hello, it is Thursday. It is just a little before 8 o'clock and I've been at work for about an hour now. I just did gym this morning. Gym went well, a little lethargic. It's a bit hard, like backing up from the big session on Tuesday, and then yesterday we did like about 5 150s, 3 of them over hurdles, 2 of them with varied pace, and then 360s, and then the last ones were like all in pouring rain that was coming down on an angle, so it didn't matter which way you faced, you kind of just got wet. So yeah, bit hard sort of backing up like that, but I'm glad that we took the opportunity on Monday to stay out of the rain, just because it meant that I've only sort of had a couple of days where I've gotten a little bit damp. It is raining again this morning. Yeah, but they're saying it is going to clear up by the weekend, so that'll be a really good start to the holidays. So just thinking back to yesterday afternoon, so yeah, you know, I did check in and everything was going well, and then we had a little bit of a side detour of a problem. We have to make these payments out to certain parties that we work with, and looks like we might have underpaid one of them, but that's all right. We still have another payment to give them, so we just give them some more on the next one. But we're also trying to get ready for the state audit, and we're just trying to balance our books and all that, and it's out by a little bit now, but not so bad. So I'm yeah, I don't really know what to do. I don't really do a lot of the back end book stuff actually, and my manager and I were talking about it yesterday, and we think that I'm going to start doing some of the back end book stuff just so that I can, so we have a bookkeeper and she comes in like quarterly to do things, and she's a lovely woman, but it's like she was just prepping everything yesterday, and it's like she's found out 2 days before we're shutting for the year, and then our end of financial year is December 31st. So we need to be audited in the week starting back. That's just like the law. And then we have to have our AGM to have the audit passed and accepted. So it's a busy first quarter. And on top of that, I have membership dues I have to collect for this state. And now around Australia, I'm like starting in the team that works in the bigger part of it. So yeah, it's a bit like I don't want to find out 2 days out from when the office is closing for the year that we still have things to fix for this year. And it's really just, it's just on the books, how you record things and all that. And like, no doubt the money's been spent correctly. It's just, you got to go back and find where you may have incorrectly noted something or put it in or left something out. And yeah, so I was just chatting to my manager yesterday, and we were sort of like, I might start entering that in so that it can be checked monthly, so that we do get to the end of the financial year and it is just a matter of entering in the final one and like picking up those errors along the way, rather than at the end of the year when you're tired, you're looking forward to a break. And yeah, you don't want to be doing it, and I don't want to do it at the start of the year when we come back, because I've got other things I need to prep to set up for the year. But anyway, as for what's on today, it's pretty much just my manager and I in the office today. We do have our final major event of the year finishing today. It has been like just hell for the poor team who runs this event, and the event itself has been a great, you know, total overall representation of 2020. So the event was paused on Monday, so there was nothing happened on Monday because the rain was just too heavy, and where they would have had the event, it was flooded, and like not everyone would have been able to participate at an equal level, so we just had to like call it off for the day. So then they sort of rejigged everything, and they did get to play on the Tuesday, and on Wednesday it did rain again in the morning, and then it was fine for the afternoon. But now they've had rain overnight, and the guy I was chatting to this morning, he said they'd had like 80 mils of rain overnight. So I don't even know like if it would be safe to play in like with that much rain now on the ground and like in everything. So I don't know. They were kind of saying to me they were hoping to finish a bit earlier, like push everyone through today and get it finished. But I don't think that's going to happen because at the moment they're sort of paused again. So that is just, we were like, that's just 2020 all up. You get going, you think you're moving forward, and yeah. Oh, no, you're not. So yeah, so just me and my manager and I in the office today. We do have an all-staff meeting at like 1 o'clock, I think. I don't know like what they're gonna tell us. They're supposed to be setting the tone for 2021. I think the only way you could set the tone for 2021 is if you just told us all none of us are gonna lose our jobs next year. We're fine the way we are. Yeah, other than that, I'm gonna try and get out of here at like 3:45 when my boss leaves. And then tomorrow, Interstate, they're having their Christmas party. We've already had ours. But we only went out for like a couple of hours and we just went for a meal. And then we came back and they're having like an afternoon like thing of picnic and like games and stuff. So I'm sort of hopeful that maybe I can finish up early tomorrow if I get everything done, or I get like enough stuff done that I don't have to stress about it into the new year. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna do a bit of work now and get some, try and see if I can finalize these payments, and yeah.